This podcast is sponsored by Dollar and Eyewear. Activate your alter ego with Dollar and Eyewear and start seeing life through a different set of lenses. Shop DollarandEyewear.com. Tell them Demetrius Lee and Angela Lee and the Lee Life Experience Podcast sent you. Thank you.
Hi, welcome to a new episode of the Lee Life Experience Podcast. How are you doing today? Listen, I want to make sure before I let Demetrius answer. But thank you all for subscribing. Thank you all for liking. Thank you all for sharing. And listen, thank you all for noticing us when you see us out. We represented Charlotte this past weekend. We had an amazing time. We're not Cowboy fans, or nor who the other team was, but we did. Carolina Panthers. I'm sorry, but we did. We was recognized, and listen, we appreciate it. We appreciate the love. We appreciate the feedback. Listen, anytime you see us and you feel like giving us some constructive criticism, thank you. Pull us aside. Let us know what you like, what you dislike, what you would like to see us add or talk about or discuss. And again, don't forget, you can text us 833-370-1608 and put relationships in the comment to get on our VIP list and being notified of when we're going to be in a city near you or hearing about any meetups that's coming in the future. So Demetrius, how you doing today?
Doing just lovely, honey bun. Thank you for asking.
I see you representing those Seminoles. What you doing?
Oh, yeah. You know my Florida State? Check the Florida State Seminole. Yeah, we won last night.
I can't see it a little bit. You need to stand up for the fans. Stand up a little bit. Let them see it. There you go. There go the sun. There you go. That's it. Right here. Represent. That's right.
My Florida State team, we won last night. Got one more to go. Trying to get in the college football playoff. I've been a diehard Florida State Seminole fan since 1990, and hey, I'm ready to keep it moving.
Hey, that's what it's all about. Listen, I love it. So Demetrius, you was telling me somebody recognized you, and they recognize your growth. You know, when they seen you, in Charlotte, and they want to know, Demetrius, how did you do such a massive change? So do you mind? I felt like it was a good topic because, again, when you leave from an area and, people often associate you with your past, and people really don't think that people can really change. So Demetrius, can you tell us a little bit about what was your advice to that young man? Or who that person was.
First,
how the conversation went. Or how did it?
Okay, it wasn't a young man.
Okay,
he's an older gentleman, like about my age. No, he just ran into me. He asked me, my nickname. Everybody called me Tick, Daddy, Tick, whatever. But my real name, Demetrius. My mama gave me. So he asked me, he said, man. He said, man, how did you make that change? You're a different person now. You don't act the same way you used to act. Of course, I got growth. But I told him, I made a change because I changed my name. He said, what you mean by that? I said, you called me Tick Daddy. That's a bad man. He'll do anything. He didn't care. He didn't think about it. He was selfish. All he thought about himself and did what he wanted to do. But now Demetrius, Antonio Lee, hey, I see life it a little different now. I got to think about my wife, my kid, grandkid. So I do things, I move a little different. I keep a small circle of friends around me. So, yeah, that's how my life changed. I thought, my alter ego, Tick Daddy, I had to cut back on him a little bit and bring Demetrius back out.
Oh, yeah. Well, it reminds me, but I really want you to go in a little more detail because...
Well, I can.
Again, because people associate, and I'm saying it because we all have a past and we all are ex something. And only until we leave and come back to the area, people still associate you with your past, what you used to do, how you used to get down. And they don't see, only a few people will really recognize and accept you for this new person or this new creature. Really remind me of the people in the Bible that God gave, Abraham another name, and he gave it to Abram. They called him Abram. So, I'm reminded of stories like that, because it does take a chance. And even those of you go to church and they say, oh, you know what, you're a new creature in Christ, but you still, if you go back around those same people, the Ventures, they still gonna, dissect who you used to be. So even though you might have changed, they gonna push your buttons. They gonna introduce all those things that y'all used to do just to see if you strong enough. And that's the reason why I felt like this is a good topic, because it's somebody out there who's straddling the fence right now. And I want you to be able to give that young man or a woman, give them some insights on, they know where they are and how far they came and where they're trying to go. But Demetrius, they can't disassociate themselves with how they grew up. And it's causing them their livelihood. It's causing them their relationships. It's causing them their job. It's causing them, a relationship with their kids, they love ones, period. But because of being, want to be that person, because that person was the class clown, that person was the one that make everybody laugh, but they doing it at the expense of something else. So can you elaborate a little bit more on how you was able to, like you said, now conscious decision and knowing that, hey, I got to represent my wife, hey, I got to represent my kids and my grandkids. So can you take us a trip down memory lane about that, how you was able to make a decision, or what happened to you in order for you to get that? Because everybody has that fall from grace, like I said. So can you kind of like touch a little bit and then say how you pivot or made that transition?
Yes, I'll try to make it quick. I mean, I ain't not
Okay.
quick, but I don't want to go to a whole story. But I can tell you, when I was younger, like I said, my name Tick, and I did stuff. Tick followed the crowd. He did things the crowd did. Went out there, goes and alcohol and women. It was all fine. I was younger. So I did a lot of bad things. I ain't gonna repeat everything I did, but I did a lot of bad things. So you get to a point in life, I got a little older, and they still calling me Tick, but I know when they call me Tick, I started doing Tick things. I started thinking like Tick. I started thinking bad ways came in my head, so I knew I had to make a change in my life. I couldn't keep trying to live that name, and I said, I'm gonna go to the name my mama's name, is Demetrius. After I went to Demetrius, I realized in life that I had other people that were counting on me. Tick didn't care who counted on me. He just did what he wanted to do. I said what I wanted to say to people. I was disrespectful. I wasn't mean to people, but I just did things. I didn't care about their feelings. But Demetrius care. I care about people's feelings. I don't want to be that guy. I can say so. So I knew I had to make a change. Now I got a son. I got a daughter. Now I got my wife back. Got grandkids, and I know every move I make gonna affect them. So Tick gonna make wrong move. I'm taking Tick. It's like me versus Tick. Demetrius versus Tick. Tick gonna make bad moves. He wasn't a bad fella, but he gonna think about himself. He wasn't thinking about his daughter, his wife, his kids. So I just felt like for me to go forward in life and make a change in life and trying to get what I need to get to, I need to go back to Demetrius Lee. Demetrius Lee dressed different. I wore clothes that when I go out with the clothes I had on, I live up to the image I look. I wore Tick clothes. I act like Tick. I might get out there and get drunk and don't care who to say anything. Get all on women. Demetrius, he's real respectful. He respects his family, so I carry myself like that. So I tell any young man out there, you got these names, call you JR, a Big Red, Killer Mike, Killer J, whatever. Get rid of the name, man. And you won't live the image. Live your name, your mama's name, you. And you'll carry yourself like that. Think about everybody you got a nickname, Fat Joe, Lil Joe, Killer Joe. I mean, I just gonna make the name. I ain't talking about Fat Joe, I love Fat Joe, rapper. I'm just making the names kind of my first thing came in my head. You don't want them names on you because you got to live the image. Fat Joe, rapper, that's what he do. But I bet if I don't know what his real name is, what his real name is, he wouldn't act like Fat Joe. I bet you he wouldn't mind telling his real name. He gonna carry himself like his real name is. So I tell any young person out there, just get rid of those nicknames you can. Enjoy them while you can. When you get older, you gonna have to change. You gonna have a family one day. You don't want your name connected with that old name because people gonna look at you. They try to judge me. I went to Charlotte. That dude was shot. I had a podcast. He couldn't believe I did that. He think I'm one of these cats still doing this. No, bro, I don't do that no more. I don't run around. I don't get intoxicated. I still take a little nip of drink, but I ain't getting drunk and bury my wife and my family. I just got respect for myself now. That's why I'm gonna keep it right there. I got respect for myself. Respect my family.
Ooh, you called out you called out several things, and those of you all, I'm sorry if I'm distracting you, but I was trying to, look at my notes as well as, as Demetrius was talking, and he said out of everything that he said about respect, and I'm saying it because you can look back down your life, and some of us, not everybody, some people are not ashamed, they are who they are, and I'm not talking to them. But some of us are a little ashamed of the actions that we did back then. And I'm saying I did some things yesterday that, now that I look at, I'm having to be ashamed of. And when I'm saying yesterday, I'm talking about the past. I'm talking about things that's already gone. You already have done it. It's nothing that you can do about it. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about when you trying to move forward and you have not forgiven yourself. The first step, and I know, we done did things to people, and Demetrius do have an episode that's coming out, Coming Clean, and being able to sleep better at night. And when we present it to people, they immediately like, no, I'm taking it to my grave. No, no, no. And they just, they don't even want to be associated with it. They were like, if I got away with it, hey, I'm done. Let it go. Yeah, you can, to be able to let it go. But I feel like if you did something deep in deep dark secret and you hurted somebody, then I feel like it's fair enough to say go back and ask for forgiveness. It's not going to hurt your pride that much to say, hey, you know what, I should I'm saying it because I have wavered with apologizing. And I remember going somewhere, and and I was super excited, and this here was nothing, and we was at a retreat. And I went, and when I got him, I was so excited to see her. So I picked her up and I kind of turned her around, and I felt bad about it. And I felt bad because I didn't want her to think that I didn't acknowledge her new role, her being in the ministry. And I know that me and her always play, and we always have. But I didn't want her to think, Angie's gonna disrespect me in front of all these people, and she still want to tease with me just like we out. But when I'm in a public setting, I had to adjust and realize I can't say what I want to say. I can't do what I want to do. I some things you have to be, contained. Demetrius always getting on me that when I'm always like, let's take a picture, let's take a picture. He was like, Angie, some things are intimate, some things are private, some things I just want to be kept between you and I. And I'm thinking like, it's innocent. We just going to this restaurant. I'm not thinking of the other person. I'm just thinking like, hey, I'm just, I'm snapping this because I'm just creating memories. But you do have to be respectful of people and of their wishes. I'm big on asking permission, and if you tell me, hey, Angie, I don't want a picture, guess what? I'm gonna honor that and respect that. If you tell me, hey, Angie, don't post, I'm gonna honor that. If something I have and you tell me to take it down, you ask me to take it down, I'm gonna honor that because I love the integrity. My integrity is so high that I respect people that I don't want a story that bad. Demetrius and I don't want you coming clean, or this episode to tear your home up or to break other homes. We don't want a dramified show. We don't want your story that bad. Yeah, we don't want your story that bad that you have to break down the character of somebody else in order for us to get trending. Whatever God see fit for this podcast, God is gonna allow it to happen. You know what? Nobody can detour it, nobody can delay it. It's all gonna be, natural on what God wants. But it's not gonna be because we having to use somebody else story, testimony, relationships in order for us to clout chase after it. That's not our intentions at all. Demetrius and our intentions is for you to be able to learn, to be able to look back, to be able to say, hey, you know what? Maybe I got a little more grit in me to go ahead and fight. Because Demetrius and I didn't have anybody. Demetrius, when you was going through, did you have anybody talking to you in a positive way? And I'm not talking about your mom or people that, love you, but I'm talking about friends or an outlet or listen to a podcast about how to correct your marriage. Your marriage was failing. You already knew that it was headed down death. So, how did you have anything to help?
Well, I can tell you right now, Demetrius didn't have nobody, but Tick had all kind of people talking to him, and they'll give me all kind of bad advice. F your wife, do what you want to do. She shouldn't did you like that. Because when you're all the ego, like I say, Tick, I had friends that I had good friends, but they did what they know to tell me. But I think Demetrius would have had a different set of friends back then that might have taught me a different way. Might could have saved me your marriage at that time, the first time. But like I say, Tick had bad friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to. I want to go back to something too. You said something like Tick versus Demetrius. Tick, when I was younger, I say bad things to people right now. When I was younger, and they still hurt them people. I can tell when I see them that they never forgot that stuff, and I feel bad because I didn't mean what I was saying.
Yeah.
But I can't. Word got power. When you say it, you can't take it back.
Can't take it back.
And I look at him. They don't say me about it, but I can tell they look at me. So I'm so proud of Demetrius right now. I'm very proud of him. He's doing real good. I ain't not mad at Tick. Tick was a good man too. But Tick attracted the wrong kind of women, But Demetrius, he attracted the right kind of women at the time. So I got my wife back. I attract you back. And I stayed Tick. I don't think you would have came back.
Yeah, I
And
don't
nobody
think
don't
so
want,
either.
but yeah, people right now. I said I'm around a couple people. I'm telling you, they got assault with me.
Mm-hmm.
I say some bad things to them now, but I want to apologize to them. And listen to the podcast. I'm sorry. When I say something to offend you, I wasn't trying. After that outer ego Tick, man, that dude wild ass dude. You know what I'm saying? But Demetrius, you're gonna like him better. The more y'all listen to this podcast, you're gonna see the growth of me. I know that everybody don't know me, but the people who do know me, you're gonna see. And like my wife say, we're trying to help people. It ain't about no clout chasing.
Mm-hmm.
Cause my goal is, I told God, He helped me. I'm gonna help somebody. I'm gonna give back to him.
Yeah.
Help somebody to come out of a situation. Might say they married. They might realize that their wife might have committed adultery on them. They committed adultery on their wife. It can be. It's a hard thing to take, but you can overcome it.
Mm-hmm.
Cause it's something like what Jesus say. The first one who ain't sinned, catch the first stone.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah. Okay. All right then. Hey, everybody gonna do something.
something.
So you mad at your well, he committed adultery on you. You did something to him. He might don't know, but you did something. So y'all can fix that thing.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree, as well. Demetrius and I have, when people ask us like, the smart aleck people who, the smart people who want to be a smart behind, but how you and Demetrius can talk? I was like, what Demetrius and I do. Do you know what the statistics is for divorces? Do you know? I'm asking this to the audience. If you don't, I want you to Google and or ask Chat GPT the statistics of divorces in the United States. And then once you do, you see that's how many kids, if they have children, that's gonna be growing up with opposite parents. I mean, in different households. 9 times out of 10, if it's a woman, now that woman then became a single parent. So if Demetrius and I can help create a very loving and nurturing healthy relationship or a healthy marriage where it give you enough guts to get in there to start enjoying each other again. I didn't say Demetrius and I are not perfect by a long shot, and we still have our battles, but we know a little different coping mechanisms now that we didn't do or apply back in when we first got married. So it's a difference between the marriage in 99 and the marriage in 2027. I mean 2017. Two different marriages, even different people. So being able to accept your mistakes, being able to own up to it, being able to apologize, being able to look at each other and being able to hear each other out without talking. Demetrius and I both haven't mastered this part yet, but being able to talk, to listen, not to reply. Because some of us love to try to cut people. No, you give them a chance to get their thoughts out. You give them a chance that you cannot tell me. Demetrius cannot tell me how he made me feel back then when things was going wrong. He is I don't care what he thought, he cannot tell me. He has to respect my feelings at that time, what my thought process is, why I felt that way, why I felt neglected, why I felt unloved, why I felt unappreciated. And as you're trying to move forward, what would be your solution? You can't do all this airing out and don't have any solutions. You have to be able to either go for counseling, go get a mediator, being able to, like Demetrius said, being able to distinguish between a Tick and a Demetrius, being able to distinguish between a Angie that's unloved and an Angie that's, fighting for her marriage. That's the Angie that's in a married, committed relationship. Angie that's a wife, a mother, somebody who's going off of the same in alignment with what God has for her. So it's a total difference. And if you have not identified any of those weaknesses, I'm gonna tell you something. When things hit, it's road gonna get rocky again. When roads get rocky, are you still gonna make those same mistakes? And if you have not came and and got in alignment and cleared some of those things out, you will go back to that same person what Tick had, what Angie had, those choices, those so-called friends, that plan B, guess what? They sitting out there, they lurking, it's in the Bible. It come to kill, steal, and destroy. Do you know why that scripture's there? It is there for a reason. Because they know if God know what you love, the devil know what you like. So don't forget, it might show up in a different person, but he knows exactly what you like. All right, Demetrius, you got anything before we go to break?
Oh, man.
All right.
Hi, everyone. I hope you have enjoyed the episode so far. You are here with the Lee Life Experiences. And remember, if you want to get your topics discussed or get our opinion or our perspective, join us at Texas at 833-370-1608 and put relationships in the comments.